My name is Kathleen Crist, and I'm the Director of Social Services for Houston Area Parkinson Society. So for those of you I know, welcome. For those of you I don't know, I look forward to getting to know you. I don't know if we have any other staff in here at the moment. And Toby, who has the camera, is our Executive Director. Many of you know Angelica Rodriguez and Celeste Harris, who aren't in the room right now, but have also worked very hard to put this program together and to get all of the preparations pulled together for today. So I just wanted to thank them for their hard work. Okay, other thanks go to our sponsors of this event, as well as our symposium, which will be taking place in August. If you haven't signed up for that event, please do so. We've already cleared the 350 registered mark right now, and so I'm not sure what our cutoff is going to be, but you're always much better off to register early and cancel if your plans change than wait to figure out what your plans are going to be and then try to register late, because sometimes we can't accommodate folks. So make sure that you've registered. Okay, so our sponsors that have sponsored all of our summer programs this year include APDA and Robin Kornhaber, who she is in here. Okay, Robin is with the American Parkinson's Disease Association, and they have sponsored, they've given us a media grant so that we can videotape our summer lecture series. So we videotaped the one in June, and we're videotaping today, which is why you see cameras set up and why we're going to do things kind of a certain way. But they've given us this media grant so that we can record and archive so that you can go back and access this information at a later date, or if you've missed one of the sessions, you'll be able to catch it there. Also, I want to thank AbbVie and Impacts, Medtronic, UCB, Acadia Pharmaceuticals, Silverado, US World Meds, UT Move, Home Instead, Lundbeck, Abbott Infinity DBS, Dr. Alphanoy, Belmont Village, Health South, TTI Home Health. All of those entities have contributed to us being able to put together this series of educational programs this summer, so please help me thank them. So let me introduce to you Stanley Merrill. He worked at IBM for 23 years as a systems engineer manager, and as an application development consultant. He studied Buddhist philosophy and meditation since 1995 and has completed a teacher training class, mindfulness-based stress reduction, taught by John Kabat-Zinn, through the University of Massachusetts Medical School. Mr. Merrill has taught meditation techniques at the Veterans Administration, for us at Houston Area Parkinson Society, and Chevron. So please help me welcome Stan Merrill.
Well, Kathleen, thank you very much for the introduction, and also thanks to the Houston Area Parkinson Society. I've been working with them for over a decade, and I really am impressed with the programs they had, the breadth and depth. They're a real asset to the community. What I'll be talking about is the title of the presentation, Why Meditate? And the goal of a meditation practice is resilience. And resilience is the capability that no matter what the problem is, you're able to focus on the solution, you're not dragged down by it, you're able to, once you get knocked down, to get up and start over again. And the method that I'll be teaching is meditation and mindfulness is the approach to help you cultivate resilience. And meditation is developing 3 separate skills through a regular practice. The foundations of resilience are the ability to cultivate these skills. One is to be aware of what's going on in your own mind. Meditation really is focusing on helping you cultivate a positive attitude, a positive disposition. There are some problems in life we cannot change, but our attitude, our mind, what we're thinking about is a focus of meditation. We're working on cultivating our mind. When we cultivate our mind, we can be resilient to the problems that have happened to us. So the first step in that is to be aware of what you're thinking and how you're approaching problems. And that's one of the fundamental skills you gain from a meditation practice. The second skill is letting go. And in this case, letting go can be letting go of the drama that you have. Life's no good. It's not fair. The stories that we tell ourselves when we're in difficult situation. We also need to cultivate compassion. Things will go wrong in our life. Maybe we react in the wrong way. But we have to have forgiveness and kindness to ourselves, the ability to adjust and accept what we're doing. And if we can do meditation on a daily basis, we're cultivating all three of these skills. And what this talk will be about is I'll take you later on through a guided meditation, but I'll also talk to you about the problems that cause us to create reactivity. When things go wrong, it's human nature that our response to it only makes it worse. Something goes wrong, we get angry, we react, and the situation only gets worse. The first thing that I want to focus on is letting go. And I want to tell a story about what happened to me 10 years ago at a class that I taught at the Houston Area Parkinson Society. One of the critical skills I mentioned that we're developing is letting go, accepting things. And in my meditation practice, I got a chance to practice that. I got a chance to practice it with red lights, with traffic jams. In Houston, we get the opportunity every day with traffic to practice letting go and red lights. And in my case, I had a career with IBM, and I'd be upset if I didn't get promoted quickly enough. I'd be upset if my salary wasn't high enough. I was career-oriented, and those were the things that dragged me down, my need and desire to get raises and promotions, red lights and traffic jams, spilt milk. When I came in to teach for the first time at a Parkinson's class, I got to the part of the agenda where I'm going to talk about acceptance and letting go. And I don't have Parkinson's, and I didn't feel like getting up in front of a group of people that had Parkinson's or were Parkinson's caregivers and say, accept it, let go of it. It's difficult. I don't know how I'll react when some illness strikes me. So instead of giving a talk about it, I asked someone if they would talk about if acceptance had been helpful to them. And a woman stood up. Her name was Anna. Her name is Anna. And she told me her story. And her story was she got diagnosed with Parkinson's. And for the first 3 months after she got the diagnosis, all she could think about is, why me? It's not fair. My life's over. I'm grieving. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's everyone that has these kind of thoughts. It's natural. That's what human beings do. That's the way we react to difficult situations. And if you've had those feelings, you're only human. But what happened with Anna and what she said is that she realized it. She woke up to the fact that one of her biggest problems was the story she was telling in her head. She had the problems of Parkinson's, which she couldn't eliminate, but she needed to change the way that her mind was working. A quote from Rumi is, "Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I'm changing myself." And a meditation practice is to constantly look at your own mind and to change your mind and change the way you look at things. So that's the first thing she realized, is she had to change herself. And what she needed to change was letting go of the drama, the storyline that was dragging her. You let go of that drama, and then you can focus on other things. And she was able to let go of the drama. The other thing she said that was a real inspiration to me is she said, when I got the disease, I stopped playing tennis, I stopped playing piano, I thought my life was over. I decided I'm not going to let this thing take charge of me. And she started playing piano. She started playing tennis. And she told me she couldn't play as well as she used to. She couldn't play tennis as well as she used to. She couldn't play the piano as well as she used to. But she played anyway, and she did her best. She pushed the boundaries of what she could do. And Anna told me this story about 10 years ago. 1 year ago, I was at a pep talk, and it was the first time I'd seen Anna in 9 years. And before I gave the talk, I asked her if it was okay to tell her story, and she gave me permission. And I told the story just as I've told you. And then afterwards, she came up afterwards, and she had a twinkle in her eye, and she said to me, I know you said that I did these things. Well, I want to let you know I was forced to stop playing tennis. But then I started to learn how to speak Spanish. She could do that. And when I decided I would talk about Anna, there's a symbol for the Houston Area Parkinson Society. It's right in front of the podium. I wanted to get it, so I went to the website to see if I could find the logo so I could add it to my presentation, and I had it up earlier. And the first thing I saw on the front page was Anna's picture, talking about how now she was doing tango dancing and how it impacted her. And to me, she has been an inspiration. When things go wrong, you push the boundaries. Acceptance is not giving up, it's pushing the boundaries. And it's this balance of not fighting the disease, accepting what you can't change, and getting all of your energy working on the things that you can do. And she articulated it in a way that inspired me, and that's particularly focused on how to deal with the most difficult problems that you have to deal with. I'd like to talk a little bit about, not only for Parkinson's, but for almost everything in daily life, there's a human tendency. And the problem that human beings have is when things go wrong, we tend to catastrophize. As bad as things are, we can make them worse. I had a flat tire. And when I had the flat tire, I catastrophized. It's horrible. I wanted to be somewhere. It's the worst possible time. I got really angry at the tire. And what do I do when I got angry? I was really mad at that tire. And the best thing I could do to that tire to maybe inflate it is rear back and kick it as hard as I could. Fortunately, I'd studied meditation and I didn't do it, so I didn't break my toe. But it's that reactivity that often causes problems. And it's the reactivity to disease that can cause problems. And I wanted to take that reactivity, that catastrophizing, and go into a little bit of detail about how we build that up. What do we wind up doing to make things worse? And first of all, in the center bullet in there is the fact of socialization. We're brought up to want to be young. We want to be healthy. We want to be beautiful. We want to be rich. We want to be successful. And then whenever anything goes wrong that upsets us, that isn't this idealized life, we have a tendency to go through this cycle. One, we label and judge it. It stinks. It's not fair. Then, sometimes, not always, but we blame someone. We can blame ourselves, blame the world, blame others. And when we blame ourselves, we feel guilt and shame. And we blame others, we feel hatred and anger. The emotions go, and our blood pressure goes up, and anger gets generated. It's natural, we'll all do it. That's what happens. When our blood pressure comes up, increases, it takes blood out of our brain. And we can't think straight. And we do things like kick tires. And we do things like walk around all day long saying, why me? Why now? Why did this happen to me? And if we say those things and we ruminate long enough, we have that second arrow, another problem that we created in our own mind of depression. And whether you're a caregiver or a Parkinson's patient, all of a sudden there's a big change in your life, and fighting it can create further problems. And what I'd like to do now is take you through a guided meditation. I'm going to do it in two parts. One is just a long, slow breath that you can do any time during the day to relax yourself, to get your body calm, to refocus. And then I'll take you through a guided meditation of watching your breath. And this is something you can do in a formal practice. And then after I take you through the guided meditation, I'm going to go back to that catastrophizing cycle and tell you all the things that why and how meditation works to help break that catastrophizing cycle. So I'll tell you, first of all, I'll ask you to sit in an erect and dignified posture, but before I have you do that, if it hurts your back, if it hurts your legs, if I tell you to do anything that you don't want to do or hurts you, don't listen to me. I'm trying to help you. Don't do something that hurts you. I don't know what's in your back, your knee, and your legs. If you can do these things, fine. But there's a mind-body connection, and if you are in erect and dignified posture, it makes you feel powerful and in control. So whatever extent you can do it, sit in an erect and dignified posture. Feet flat on the ground, hands on your knees or thighs. Tilt your head slightly down. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. And first of all, just listen. Focus on the sounds in the room. Continue to notice the sounds in the room. Don't judge them. Don't label them. They're just vibrations. If someone's cell phone goes off, it's okay. It's just a vibration. Whatever's happening right now is happening right now, and it's okay. Listen to the sounds. Don't judge. Don't label. Pay attention to the sounds. Be curious about it. Where are they coming from? They getting louder and softer? Is there a pitch to the sound? Listen to the sounds. All your attention in this present moment to the sounds in the room. Now breathe long, slow, and deep. And as you breathe in, count to 5. And as you breathe out, count to 5. And if breathing deeply hurts your breath, don't breathe deeply. Breathe as deeply as you can without hurting yourself. To the count of 5 in, to the count of 5 out. The longer, the slower, the deeper you breathe, the lower your blood pressure, the slower your heart rate, the more calm you'll become. And now stop counting. But continue to focus on your breath. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. On the in-breath, notice the sensations in your nostrils. On the out-breath, notice the sensations on your lips. And really focus and notice what's happening. Can you feel the air in your nostrils? Can you feel the warmth of the air going out through your lips? Breathe naturally. Notice, do the lengths of the breath change? Really look at your breath with curiosity. Eventually your mind will wander, thoughts will arise. It happens to everyone. It's okay. We're just learning to notice that thoughts arise, become aware that thoughts arise, and then bring our focus back to our breath. And when a thought arises, we accept it that a thought has arisen. We're kind and gentle to ourselves. Minds wander. It's okay. We learn to accept the sounds. our mind wandering, we learn to relax. Continue to follow your breath. And now when you're ready, wiggle your toes, stretch out your hands. And if you'd like to, raise your hands over your head. Breathe in and breathe out. How many, okay, put your hands down. How many people feel a little bit more calm now? Okay. That's resilience. In spite of whatever you were thinking about when you came in, all the worries, you could relax. There were 4 things that I was covering in the instructions. When your mind wanders, bring it back. That's awareness. When your mind wanders, don't be upset about it, accept the fact. That's acceptance. Be kind to yourself. You're not perfect. Your mind will wander. You need to accept it. And if you do a meditation practice on a daily basis and make it a habit, it will help you overcome the catastrophizing cycle. And now I want to look at those things from the perspective of catastrophizing. You can't stop this cycle if you're not aware that it's going on. Awareness, noticing that your mind is in the gutter, is the first step in taking it out of there. You need to be aware. That's what we're practicing in meditation. Breathing long, slow, and deep deals with you physiologically. Your heart rate goes down, your blood pressure goes down. You don't have to meditate while you're waiting in line, when you're at a red light. Just breathe long, slow, and deep, and it helps that part of the cycle. When the stories are about things you can't change, you need to accept them. And that's where it helps that part of the cycle. And meditation, if you do it on a daily basis, builds the muscles of resilience, awareness, compassion, and letting go. And if you're interested in doing meditation, I continually present at PEP meetings. You can go to that. There's an app called Headspace. It's a smartphone app. You can do that. I have a website, beingmindful.com, and there's a lot of information on that. There are free groups you can attend on a regular basis. I lead a group at Westview Senior Center on Wednesdays from 2 to 3:30. We're on summer break, but we'll start back in September, but the dates are on the website. Insight Meditation Houston, Ginger Clarkson leads that. She does an excellent job of teaching meditation. Next weekend, I'm teaching a 4-hour class on meditation at the Houston Jung Center. And on the website, there's some free guided meditations. Well, I want to thank you all for your kind attention, and I'll leave with one quote. Anyone who has so little knowledge of human nature as to expect to find happiness by any means other than changing his own disposition will spend a lifetime in useless endeavors. It's not mine, it's Samuel Johnson's. Thanks again for your attention. Have a good day.